자, 가자. 슬레이 더 프린세스. 일단 방제를 바꿔야지. 공포 게임이 아니라고? 전체 이용가라고? 오케이. 자, 슬레이 더 프린세스 시작. 공주와 영웅.
You're on a path in the woods.
야, 더빙도
And at the
있네?
end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
아, 자동.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the
죽이지
world.
않는다면 세상은 멸망할 것입니다. 애초에 공주를 가둬놓았기 때문에 공주가 세상을 끝장내려 하는 거 아니야?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not
이
dangerous
해설자를
because she's
믿어야
locked up.
된다는 보장은 있는가?
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter
공주가
what led us up
오두막에서
to
나오면
this point.
세상은
If the
끝장난다.
princess leaves the cabin,
근데 이거 세상이 끝장난다는 게 그냥
there is no changing that.
게임이 끝난다는 뜻 아닐까?
No use
게임이
arguing
엔딩을
semantics
맞이한다.
over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
됐어, 난 안 할래.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
보상은
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
보상이 뭔데?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
뭔가 믿을 수 없는데. 만약 정말 사악하면 죽일지도 모르지.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull
일단은
yourself
살려줘 봐도
out.
되지 않을까?
Then each and every one of us is doomed. So
일단
sure,
지금 상태로는
talk to her. See how that
해설자가
turns
더
out
믿을
for
수가
all of us.
없네요.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
오두막에 들어간다.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
근데 영웅의 목소리라며. 영웅이 공주를 죽이러 왔는데 무기도 안 갖고 왔어? 그냥 지하실에 들어가. 이런 놈 죽어도 싸다.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of
죽여주는
rot
게 오히려
filtering
자비로운
from the ancient
일이겠군요.
wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
계속 내려간다.
Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon.
일단
but you
공주의
may still
모습부터
be able
봅시다.
to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
왜 한쪽에 자물쇠는 아니 족쇄는 없어진 거지? 족쇄를 살펴본다.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing.
둘 다 싫은데
Walk up
아가리
to
좀
the chains
닥쳐주면 안 될까?
binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have
근데
just
이
left
공주가
the
일단
key to her
인간은
chain
아니에요.
somewhere in the cabin.
먼지가 켜켜이 쌓일 정도인데 그럼 아무도 밥을 주러 오지 않았다는 거잖아? 내가 밥인가? 지금 이런 식으로 해설자가 사실 날 꼬시는 역할이고 꼬셔서 갖다 주면 공주가 우릴 먹나? 그러니까 눈이 좀 큰 거 보니까 인간이 아닌가? 일단 좋은 생각 있어?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains?
그걸 어떻게 끊냐?
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
팔을
If
잘라도
we were
돼요.
stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding in.
아씨!
Is someone else here?
문을 열어본다.
You try the door, but it's locked from the
내가
outside.
먹이가 맞나 본데 이거? 문 열어.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
내려가.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
구한다. 내가 잡아 먹힐 것 같은 느낌이 들지만 일단 이걸 보고 싶어.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to the
잠깐만, 나 팔이 왜 이래?
cut into her flesh. The blade is
내가
sharp.
인간이
It
아니네?
takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
다가간다.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, her
야,
body
이씨!
steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
와, 이 미친. 아, 경고한다.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
아, 모르겠어. 지금 야, 일단 저항한다.
The blade. Move the
공주도
blade.
이상하긴 한데 내 손이랑 이런 걸
As your
보면은
body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What
뭐지?
are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony.
야, 이년아!
Not dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful
아,
death
이게
is
뭔
some sort of
상황이야, 뭔
heroic
상황이야?
gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
야! 목을 찌르든가.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down.
뭐지, 지금 해설자도 정상이 아니고 솔직히 영웅도 좀 정상이 아니에요.
Blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this.
공주도 정상이 아니고.
Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
뭐야, 챕터 2로 넘어간다고?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
일어났던 일 아니야?
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be
우리 셋?
foiling any and all assassination attempts
공주까지야,
you've
셋?
got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do,
나
just be
아닌가?
sure to ignore
지금
him
이거 떡밥
specifically.
중에 하나인가?
Sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
돌아서서 떠난다.
Are we running away? What are you doing? We have to save her.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
아, 유저의 홀린 자의 영웅인가? 세상이 끝장나도 상관없어. 모두가 반대 방향으로 걸어간다.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path
야이씨.
also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved
약간
after all.
해설자가 예상하지 못한 행동을 해서
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably
이걸
selfish,
벗어나야
if you
되는
ask
그런
me.
건가?
I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again.
어?
But everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we?
Oh, I don't like this one bit. There's not a single damsel in sight.
뭐야?
How done?
세계가 실타래처럼 풀려 없어진다. 수많은 존재가 웅성거리는 소리가 들려온다. 아, 뭐지 이거? 얘 뭐 잘린 공주 소린 거 아니야? 제가 기어 들어가기 위해서는 비어있는 그릇이 필요해요? 생각을 받아들인다. 끝내야 될 이야기가 있다고? 그곳으로는 돌아갈 수 없다. 이게 공주인가 지금? 이 세계는 더 이상 복구할 수 없어요. 뭐지? 뭐가 끝났는데 잘 모르겠네?
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin.
자, 설정에서 아니야.
You're here to slay her. If you don't,
다시 1회차로 일단 돌아왔어요. 이번엔 죽여봅시다. 좋았어. 군주의 목을 치러 가볼까.
that's the
혁명
spirit.
만세.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
채팅창 내려달라고요? 아. 오케이. 들어간다.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
자, 단검을
You take the
가져간다.
blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
들어간다.
The
아,
door to the
지금
basement
커서가
creaks open,
아,
revealing a
커서
staircase
자체가
faintly
떡밥 중에
illuminated by an
하나였구나.
unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her
여기는
a
똑같은
favor.
내용 같은데?
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
어?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
단검을 가져왔느냐 아니냐에 따라서 목소리가 변하나?
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
널 죽이러 왔어.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck.
잘하는
hero.
짓입니다.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
그래, 농담이 아니었어.
I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk things out.
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming.
냉혹하게 죽여버리는 건 우리답지 않아. 단검을 단단히 쥔다.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
플레이어를 얘기하는 게
Oh?
아닌 것 같은데
No
이거.
talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's armed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
단검을 뽑았으면 죽인다.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming.
혹시 뭐 있을
But I
것처럼
have
얘기하더니
to
아무것도
wonder.
없었네?
Do you actually believe this was
칼 왜
enough
놨어,
to kill
이거?
me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself
아,
to be
지금
alive
루프
and
같은
well.
걸 반복하고
But it's
있다는
over,
걸 이미
isn't it?
공주는 아나 보네.
She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
당연히 아니지.
It's over. Don't get all worked up.
We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse?
I really don't think you should do that.
And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us?
I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
뭔가 이질감을 느끼면 다시 루프가 되는 건가? 맥박을 재서 일단 하라는 대로 해봅시다. 하라는 대로. 나가.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in, and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
누가 열어준 게 아니라 문이 잠겼던 거는 지난번 세계였고.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom.
Only
이번엔
a
잠근 사람이
world
없었죠.
saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is
공허만이
nothing at
남았다.
all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
What happened?
Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
세상을 구한
This
것
isn't an
치고는 결말이
In
별론데.
fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward.
영원한 시작.
This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or
와.
years or even decades.
며칠, 몇 달, 몇 년.
boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
해설자를 못 들었어. 난
Are
행복해.
we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
아니, 우린 행복해.
Really? Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know, I guess. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices' pleas fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
어? 굿엔딩? 테트론 알파 테스터 분들. 다시 한번.
You're on a path in
이번엔 어떻게 해야 되나? 일단 오두마이트로 간다.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she said.
We're not going to go through with this, right?
Ignore him. He does.
오두마이트로 간다. 어떻게 해야 되지?
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and
공주를
walls are
죽인다고
painted with a
하더라도
fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a
캔딩은
plain
없고.
wooden table. Perched on that table
단검을 가져가서 대화를 해봐요.
take the blade from the table. The door to the basement creaks.
안녕. 그냥 내려가.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall
용건이
of
뭐야?
the
날
basement.
죽일 거야? 아직 결정하지 않았어.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
단검을 떨어뜨린다.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face.
약간 스탠리 패러블 같은 그런 느낌이긴 해요.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
칼을 들고 오느냐 아니냐에 따라서 변하는 것 같기도 하고. 날 지금 유혹하는 거야?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
야, 내가 세상을 멸망시킬 거라고 해서 왔음.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
네가 알려줄 거라 생각했는데.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy
누구
the world
맘대로.
to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason
둘
you've
다
listened.
이상하긴 한데.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong.
둘 다 못
This isn't about
먹겠는데,
trust.
둘 다?
This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person and a subjugating monarch.
근데
known as-
공주가 더 논리적이긴 해요. 이름이 뭐지?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer.
이름도 대답하지 못한다? 얼마나 오래 있었지?
Too long.
그건 그럴 법해.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade.
She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
대화는 이제 충분해.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
결국 선택지는 여기서 죽이든 아니야 그냥 가둔다.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't,
돕지 않겠다면
I can promise that you'll come to regret
무슨
that
일이 있어도
decision.
후회하게 만들어주지. 둘 다 편 안
You
들고
have
싶다
to make
진짜
a
한데.
choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
선택은 이미 내렸어. 두 말 다 안 들을 거야.
I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can
일단
make
다
this
제
work. If we
3의
just stay
선택지.
here and keep watch, no one has to die.
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the princess
문 닫히나?
and make your way to the stairs.
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You can still turn around and finish the job.
서로 그냥 아주 장난 아니네. 아니 유지할 거야.
It'll be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the
석이나
basement
가능하겠다
door.
저걸로.
It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. But it's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
무시하고 잠을 청한다.
Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't pay attention to it. You put the princess's threats out.
일어나면 눈앞에 있는 거 아니겠지?
And huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has
눈앞에
stopped,
있진 않은데 이미.
and the door to the basement.
야,
is
근데
ajar.
너는 도대체 이걸 어떻게 막겠다고 여기? 야, 이렇게 열린 문에다가 이걸 앞에다가 이렇게 두면 뭐 막히냐?
Where is she?
영웅의 목소리가 아니라 띨박의
Thanks for
목소리였는데?
helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the
죽나요?
situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer,
one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
이렇게 풀려날 수 있는 애였으면.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your
아,
chest.
얘가 풀려나서 온몸이 멀쩡한 상태로
Let's save that
풀려나면
next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be.
주변
can't
사람들의
actually be how
생명을
everything
뺏어가는
ends.
그런 구조인가?
I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
챕터 2 악몽.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin
리트는 아니에요
is a
지금.
princess. You're here
뭔가
to
좀
slay
변하긴
her.
했습니다.
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
그 여자가 날 또 죽일 거야.
People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Shh. What if he hears us?
아, 이번엔
That's a
편집증의
very
목소리야.
good
홀린자의
question,
목소리가
little
아니고.
voice. What if he does hear you? Shit. I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said, this is the first time we've met. Still, I'd rather not get off on the wrong foot. We've a world to save after all.
오두만에 간다.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you. I don't think lying and cheating is a thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away.
또 종잡을 수가 없네.
It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
오두만에 들어간다.
The interior
Oh,
of the
뭐야?
cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table,
야, 이거
knocked on
이거
its
뭐야
side in the
이거?
corner of the
잠깐만,
room.
이 애들은 또 뭐야?
A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Hold on. What happened to the door? There was a door here last time. It's just an empty frame. She's already got now, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her
뭐지 이게
eyes
뭔
on us?
상황이지?
I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
탐색. 벽에 걸린 거울에 대해서는 말하지
You're
않았잖아.
right. I was so stuck on the eyes watching us that I didn't even notice it there. What are you two talking about? There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the floor, and the open doorway leading to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
거울이 없다고?
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. We have to look at it. Unless that's what he wants us to do. And pretending it isn't there is a trick to get us to do exactly what he wants.
잘생긴 내 얼굴.
We shouldn't waste time preening. If he is lying about the mirror, it might be important. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do?
뭐지 일부러
Maybe
진짜
he's trying to keep
포기하려고
us
이러나?
looking because there's something horribly wrong with us. No, there isn't something horribly wrong with you. You look exactly how you're supposed to look. Now stop second guessing my every word.
거울에 다가간다. 아 일단 기억과 달라.
Very different. He changed it, didn't he? It's like he's trying to make us doubt our reality. calm down. Maybe the three of you just think everything is different because you haven't been here before. Enough of this past life nonsense. You haven't died, you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up.
공주한테 지금 벌써 두 번이나 죽었다 임마. 자, 거울에 다가간다.
You walk up to the wall next to the empty basement door frame. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
This really isn't funny.
거울을 닦는다.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden so bad.
단검을 가져가야 되나 말아야 되나. 일단 가져는 가자.
You reach down and pick the blade up off the floor. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Steel can't lie.
얘네들은 뭐냐 얘네들.
Is it gonna be enough though?
지하실에 들어간다.
You cross over the threshold
뭐야?
and onto a series of isolated
이거 아래
steps
걔네들이잖아.
suspended in darkness.
More eyes too. You never mentioned the eyes.
The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
이게 공주를 안 죽여서.
We're gonna have a lot of fun
공주는
tonight.
알아요?
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being close to her was enough to kill us.
조용히 계단을 내려가. 어둠 속을 뛰어내린다?
You attempt to step off the stairs and into the pitch black surrounding them, but you're stopped
진행이
by
안
an
돼요.
invisible force. Why did you do that? What did you think would happen?
궁금해서. 아니 너한테 대답 안 해.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement
위로
mark
찾기야?
where the floor should be, forming vague pathways.
오른쪽엔
But
눈이
what seems to be
보이고
the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions.
왼쪽엔 안
left
보이고.
and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed.
Are you really not gonna comment on how weird this place is?
No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you.
Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again.
Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter, because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
왼쪽으로 간다.
You turn to the left. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow.
This is it, isn't it?
And you brought your little knife with you again. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think. Think!
What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with
뭐지
you
해설자는
before
또
you
2회차라는 걸 진짜 모르나?
As your blood begins to coagulate, it's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open.
What are you doing?
I'm working.
Do you want this body to function, or do you want to...
뭐야?
Then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death.
Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more?
You have seconds left.
Yes, I'm sure.
Heart, lungs, liver. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
아 시끄러 이것들아.
She isn't attacking us. Why?
The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. Your weapon is still in your hands. Strike at her and end this before it's too late. Liver, nerves,
날 죽이고 나서 무슨 일이 있었지?
I tried to leave while you suffocated, but that stupid cabin wouldn't let me. So I started to drag your body out with me, and then... Well, you died before I could get to the door. And then I was here, and now you're here too. I don't think I can move without you, and dead doesn't count. And as much as I love what we have going on, I have bigger plans than tormenting one poor little
내가 없으면
creature
나갈 수
forever.
없다.
I want to leave.
그러게 내가 필요하다면서 계단에서 왜 날 위협했지?
I am being nice. You're alive, aren't you? And you died of fright as soon as you saw me last time. I didn't think keeping you alive was an option. But it looks like that's not a problem anymore. At least not for me. You seem miserable.
널 내보내준 다음에는?
No, definitely not. If you're what I need to leave this place, chances are you're pretty useful.
행운의
I
부적행이
think I'll keep you
된다.
right by my side. A little good luck charm to make sure I stay free. Don't worry. I'll make sure to take good care of you. I promise.
내 장기들을 멈추는 것만이라 그만둬주겠어?
I am what I am. It's not my fault that you can't handle being around me.
제어가 안 되는 능력이다. 우린 협력할 수 있어.
I'm glad you're seeing things my way.
하지만 그런 협력은 아닌 것 같아. 같이 나가자.
What? No!
해설장이 여태까지도 닥치고 있었단 말이지.
So wonderful.
No, I'm not going to let this happen. Before you can utter another word, your body stops moving, and,
Do you think you can just wrest control away from us? This body's barely functioning as it is. Doesn't the world end if we fail to stop her? Won't letting us die here just make it end faster?
Shit. Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs. With a flick of the princess's wrist, the stairs slide back into place. I can't believe you're making me watch you damn everyone to torment and oblivion. Heart,
Go ahead. I'll be right behind you.
먼저 가라고?
I wouldn't trust having our back to her.
You're not wrong, but maybe you should let me handle the feedback. Just focus on keeping
너한테
us alive.
맡겼다가 제대로 된 일이 없잖아 지금.
Right. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
Besides, I get the feeling she's telling the truth. She needs us alive.
네가 먼저 가는 건 어때?
What? Are you scared of turning your back to me? You don't have to be worried that I'm going to do something bad. You're too important to me now. And besides, what if I lost track of you and dropped the stairs on accident? I wouldn't want that to happen. And I don't think you'd want that to happen either. So go on. Go ahead.
She urges you forward, like one might a reluctant pet.
알았어.
You place a shaky foot on the first step and begin your ascent from the basement. You can feel the static prickling of the princess on your neck, your limbs buzzing with pins and needles. an uncomfortable and constant reminder that you exist, and that your existence is so very precarious.
You're almost there.
The only thing left between you and the cabin is the now shut door to the basement. It would be a real shame if it had locked behind you.
뭐지?
Oh, you snake. There wasn't even a door when we first got here. The door was from last time. I told you we shouldn't trust him. I know he's messing with us, but you can't lose your cool. We need you right now. Remember? Yes, I remember. Of course I remember. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. This is so frustrating. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Thank you.
편집 중이 제일 도움 많이
You'd really
되네.
rather us die down here than let her out? Of course I would. As much as I want you to have a happy ending, the fate of the world is a little more important, and you still have a weapon. You can still make this right.
문 열어본다.
Oh, look at that. It's locked. What a relief for the world.
문이 잠긴 것
It'll
같아.
open. You just have to give it a tug.
열어본다.
All
다시
against
또
the
열.
The lock gently clicks open in response to your effort, and the door creaks on its hinges. This isn't right. That's not even the way it's supposed to swing. It's supposed to swing out. You're not nearly as powerful as you'd have us think, are you?
잠기는 문이었잖아.
Anyways, like he said, you're not really in control here, are you? I never said I was. If I was in control here, why would I need you to slay her? I don't know. Secret reasons?
The door is open. What are you dawdling for? It's time for us to go. The world is waiting.
나가는 것도 정답이 아닐 것 같긴 한데.
The princess moves past you and into the cabin. This is it. This is your final moment to make things right. Kill her. I thought you wanted us to slay
지금
her.
우두왕 모양 좀 더
It's the
변했다.
same
탁자도
thing.
없어졌네.
Do it now. Do it now, or everything is over. Okay, what do we do? I said, what do we do? Oh, do you want to hear from me now? Yes. Well, I thought you needed me to run the autonomic
편집증
nervous
삐졌다.
system. We do, but this is important. Look, I'll even do it myself. Just
네가 대신 할 수
tell
있어?
us who to trust. Brain? Heart. Right, heart. Lungs. Lungs.
간.
Liver. Nerves. Okay, thanks. I got it. Heart. Lungs. You're terrible.
뭐 하자는 거지 이거?
I know. I'm doing my best. Yes, it's very hard to stay focused on running things when other people are talking to you, isn't it?
What are you doing?
Heart, lungs. Finally, I can talk. Now, what were you asking me? Running everything kind of feels like popping in and out of consciousness. It's
이게 뭔
easy to
상황일까?
lose track of things. They were asking you for your blessing to trust me. Oh, that's right. Yeah, fuck this guy. Don't trust him. Really? So you'd have them trust her? Oh, of course not. Can't trust anybody here but ourselves, but I guess that leaves us back where we started, doesn't it? I suppose if I had to make a choice, I'd pick the one that doesn't make our organs shut down. Thank you for your gracious show of support. But that's a marginal preference. We'll have to deal with him later. I'd just rather deal with him while our organs are intact. Whatever. You heard what he had to say, so whether you trust me or not, killing her is still the best, nay, the only option you have worth taking.
아니 계속 저 영웅 목소리 들리는 거
Let
뭔데?
me take over again. Finally, that was awful. I really don't know how you do it. Heart, lungs.
You've been standing there staring blankly for a while now. And I have to say my patience is running a little thin. So don't make a lady wait any longer, okay? Open the door.
아, 오케이 우두목 나간다.
The doorknob twists in your hand, revealing the forested path beyond the cabin. You bastard. You've actually done it.
You've largely doomed every liver, nerves.
It's so beautiful. I can't wait to read it.
하...
But it's so cold, too.
Liver,
It's itching against my skin.
lungs, liver, nerves, heart,
Why is it so cold?
liver.
뭐야 손이 무언가 그녀를 데려가고 그 자리에 무언가를
She's
남겨뒀다.
gone.
거울?
Where does she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
해설자도 사라졌어?
It is. Does that mean the world ended? Yeah. No voice needling us anymore. Feels good, but I also feel itchy. Cold.
거울에 다가간다.
Don't do this.
거울을 보고 겁낸 적
It's
없잖아.
different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
아니 너 똥촉이잖아.
And not in a good way. This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. It's calling us. And not in a good way.
거울에 비친 자신을 바라본다. 거울에 무엇이 있는지 확인할 때다. 당신이다. 그래 나겠지 거울이니까. 오두막에 간다. 어? 그녀에게 다가간다.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
저 베스를 두더니 왠지 닥소울이 생각나는구만. 네가 공주야?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
네가 처음부터 공주였다는 거 아니면 네가 공주를 일부러 만든 거야?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
연약한 그릇이 뭐지?
Yes. Nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond. Perspectives to make my own. This one is filled with sadness. A doll, abandoned to the company of her darkest impulses. She desires only companionship, but the only thing she knows is how to hurt. She will make for a tender heart.
너무
Do not
알쏭달쏭한데?
mourn her. She has finally found her way home.
이게 세상의 멸망인가?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
약간 닥소 닥소 같아 닥소. 바깥 세상에 대해 알아?
I know only that they are.
이제 어떻게 되지?
Nothing as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me your
망각하게 만들 수 있어. 더
perspectives
많은
so that I may be
공주의 그릇.
whole. And perhaps then
아.
we know our freedom.
이게 다 그 공주 손이 맞나봐. 리조아트를 얼마나 더 찾아야 되지?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
내가 널 도우면 세상을 파괴할 건가?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
뭘 할 생각인데?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
허락하지 않겠다면
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
어디까지 잊어버리게 되지?
Everything. Until we meet again.
다시 만날 때까지. 일단 퀵세이브. 좋아, 있게 해줘.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
다시 만날 때까지. 근데 다시 챕터 1으로
You're on
돌아가졌네?
a path in the woods. You make your way up the shore.
자, 빠르게 오두막에 들어가고.
The interior of the cabin is almost entire.
단검을 가져가요.
You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement creaks.
계단을 내려간다.
You're still listening to reason.
아까 그 선택지 그대로 가야 되나? 결정 안
How
했어.
about you drop the knife and the
떨어뜨린다.
The blade tumbles out of your
근데
trembling
거기까지 가야
hands
되는 거면
and
너무
drops to the
긴데?
floor with an unceremonious.
Oh, have you decided?
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the prince. They're large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have.
Maybe it's somewhere doubtful.
위로 올라가 보지.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your. Is someone else here?
도로 내려간다.
You make your way easier for
이
his
대화
mother.
탐색을 안 해서 안 됐네.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down. The knife. Pick it up and cut.
You won't like what happens if you.
공주를 구한다.
Against your better judgment, you cut into her. The blade is sharp, and she didn't so much as utter. Free from her binding, how is she so composed?
Thank you.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too
제가
high.
용납할 수
You can't just
없습니다.
let as the princess. Wait, watch me.
원래 이거 죽고 나서 이벤트도 못 보긴 했어.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back. Stop it.
근데 이번에는 아까 전이랑 좀 달라서 얘가
The
그냥
blade.
날
You're doing your
죽일라나?
best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries,
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
and then she slits your throat. Her face remains
아까 전에
unchanged. This is
이렇게
the end.
죽고
I'm
나서
afraid it is. Everything goes dark.
오두막에 안 갔었는데
You're on a path. You're here to.
오두막에 간다.
A warning before you go in.
아까 전엔 근데 죄수가 아니지
She will
않았나?
lie. Yeah. Did you? No, I did. Just ignore this.
단검을 가지고 갔다가 안 죽이는 거랑
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
뭔가 많이 바뀌었어. 거울에 다가간다.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall.
You reach forward and rub your hand.
거울은 여전히 안 되네.
If he doesn't want us to
아,
know about
의심의
it, it must be
목소리네.
important.
다르네, 이게
We should keep
또.
our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
그러니까 단검을 가지고 내려가서 공주한테 죽는 거랑 단검을 안 가지고 내려간 다음에 공주한테 죽는 거랑 또 다른가 보다. 단검 가져가 일단.
You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone. The door to the basement.
이번에도 저렇게 여는 문이네? 당겨서 여는 문?
Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up
감옥이
the
업그레이드
stairs.
됐어.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
제법 오랜만이다?
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with
아,
the
뭔가
princess.
조금 더
She looks
강화됐어요.
up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both
이
her wrists to the far
오른쪽은
wall,
원래는 이렇게
joining
끊겨
the
있었는데
metallic
이게
chorus
생겼네.
as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where
목은 못
everything seems
자르잖아.
to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that
공주
thing in my
눈이
heart.
정상이 됐어요. 아니야, 원래 멀리서 볼 때는 이랬나? 공주의 앞에 앉는다.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
앉으라는 곳에 앉는다.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
난 여기 온 적 있어. 나만 기억하나?
Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought you
기억을
were
하고
going to give
있네.
away the game.
공주는 계속 기억을 해요.
I remember.
So you've already been here. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to
해설자는
the cabin, you
방법은
heroically slay the
알지만
princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation
기억은
right now,
못하는
where
그런
you're getting
역인가?
a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck. If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably. I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met.
첫 번째
I
나이길
didn't want
원했다.
to be
복사본이
confronted
되고
by the
싶지 않았다.
alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can
아니, 너
remember what
지금 기억
happened
못하고
before.
있어요.
Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. All right? Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark? The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that. I won't.
Fine. But you won't get another word from me on the matter.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Just give it a rest. This isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
내가 죽은 뒤로 무슨 일이 있었지?
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
진짜 근데
it's
게임이
possible
난해하긴
he really
하다.
doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
이게 또 빈족쇄는 누구를 위한 거지?
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
내 몸에 채워보라고?
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
족쇄를 살펴본다.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
족쇄를 살펴본다.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp.
아 뭐야?
as if
자동으로
pulled by some
채워졌어.
odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck. And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement. Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now?
같이
Yes.
묶였어.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. that's
사슬에
clearly
특별한 게
important.
있다. 이제 어떡하지?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
조용히 기다린다.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
But
The line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time.
이
And
공주가 안
after that, even more
죽으면,
time
아니
passes
죽으면
again. And let me
제가
guess,
완전체가 못
cabin
되고
remains the same.
아까의 그
if
존재가
time is passing, the cabin can't
계속
be the
지하실에서
same.
구출을
Even if the
해줘야만
differences are small, they have to exist.
제가 완전체가
That's just
되나?
how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
지하실이 변하고 있는데 눈치챘어?
I don't like small talk.
That's rude.
대화를 하고 싶지 않다고? 조용히 기다린다.
You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin
Oh.
continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework.
이제
and
이
watch lichen
벽
spread
중에서
along the seams of the walls.
사슬도 풀리는 거 아닌가?
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent
왜 근데
time
저 앞쪽만
passes as you
저렇게
watch
변해?
roots push
뒤쪽은 왜 안
themselves
변해?
through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid,
단검은
covering
흙바닥에
the ground
묻혔나
and
보다.
threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls.
어?
And then
이런 오두막을 결국 탈출한 거라고 봐야 되지 않나?
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's
오!
cold.
아 이런 식의 루트마다 하나씩을 데려가야 되나봐. 아 기억이 돌아온다.
she's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
건너뛰기 이건 봤으니까. 거울에 다가간다. 자라신을 바라본다. 당신은 성장했다? 오두막에 간다. 두 번째네.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
얼마나 변화했지?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
이 모든 일이 끝나면 내가 널 죽일 거라는 건 알고 있어. 난 그런 생각 없었는데. 보이지 않는 벽이 날 가로막았어.
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
넌 내가 만났던 자들 중에 가장 친절하게 날 대해줬어. 뭔 개소리야. 편집증의 목소리 잊었어? 널 살리기 위해서 심장, 폐, 간, 신경, 심장, 폐, 간, 신경 이걸 반복하던 그걸 잊었냐고. 다음에 어떤 그릇을 원하지?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
아무튼 고마워.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
난 너에게 가져왔던 그릇들을 해쳤어. 해치진 않았는데? 읽게 끝나면 뭘 하고 싶어?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
딱 해치진 않았는데? 이 부분은 선택지들이 조금 미묘하게, 아니야, 해친 선택지가 있었기 때문에 그래서 그런가? 돌아갈 준비가 됐어.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
두 번째.
You're on a path in
건너뛰기. 설명해줘서 고마워.
It's all part of the job. You make your way up a
이번에는
short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning.
죽이고 다시
Before you go
돌아갔을
any
때,
further.
아,
She will lie. She will cheat.
이번엔 죽이고 돌아가는 걸로 하죠.
The interior of the cabin is almost
죽이고 나서
entirely
맥박
bare.
확인하기.
You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement. Good. You're still listening to reason.
자,
You
다가간다.
step forward.
죽인다.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh
죽였다.
easily give way and look down.
당연히 아니지.
Over.
맥박을 잰다.
You lean down and place your hand against her neck, holding your breath as you search for a pulse, even though you know you're not going to find one. We definitely won't if you keep talking. I'm sorry, do you want her to be alive? You just saved the entire world from annihilation. Why are you suddenly trying to call that into question?
어?
Wait,
맥박이
what was
뜁니다.
that? You know what that was. That was the sound of a heartbeat, followed by another, and another.
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
어!
Something sharp digs into your side, the shock of it sending your nerves into a pained frenzy. Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs. As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now. See you around.
You were so close. Why did you hesitate?
적어도 공주를 죽이는 건 성공했군요.
At least you managed to take her with you, for whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark, and you die.
아, 이렇게 되면 칼날. 계속 다른 건가 본데?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to.
왜냐면 내가 공주한테 살해당했기
I
때문에.
can assure you that you didn't slay her, and that she didn't kill you. If he doesn't remember what happened,
This whole thing's a crock of shit.
아, 이번엔 또
She's just got a
배신감이야.
pony knife.
stabbed to death.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time. You said this whole thing would be easy.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapon.
자, 오토바이 들어간다.
A warning. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do
It couldn't be more on the money.
We know what to look out for. Just stay
들어가면 이번에는 과연 무슨 방이냐?
The interior of the cabin
Yeah.
is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table. The blade is your implement. You'll need it.
거울은 뭐 이번에
Walk
똑같겠지?
up to the wall next. What are you talking about? This is. You reach forward and. But there
거울은
wasn't
여전히
it. Now it's gone.
똑같고 이게 아마 진엔딩 루트지 않을까 싶어요. 뭔가 조건을 다 만족시키면 이쪽에서 저게 되지 않을까 싶네.
You take the blade from the table.
It feels a bit better to have a...
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic
피냄새.
quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you.
That's right. Scraping. I told you.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging. Her grating voice carries.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
There is something so wrong with that voice.
내려가 봅시다.
Yeah. She thinks she's better than us. Like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room. I wonder if she remembers us.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that.
뭐지?
are we?
공주 갑자기 좀
She's trying to
유망해졌는데?
trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down.
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
앞만 봐도 지금 안 묶여
What
있는
are
거
you
같지?
waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
내가 다가가면 날 찔러 죽이려고? 아, 지난번에 무슨 일 있었는지 기억해?
Last time? If somebody came into my house and stabbed me to death and then I killed him, surely I would remember that.
기억하고 있군.
But I don't remember it, so it must not have happened.
Last time? What are you talking about?
Ugh, it's like the two of you are working together on this. Aren't you listening to her? She's obviously lying through her teeth.
I'm terrible at spotting lies, and even I can tell something's up here. We can't be the only ones that looped back to the start. Someone else has to remember, right?
누군가는 분명 기억하고
Yes,
있을 거야.
something is
이거
obviously
유저한테
up.
얘기하는 거는.
And we can all tell that she's lying. The thing she's lying about is how dangerous she is, not dimension hopping or time travel or whatever it is you think you're doing.
정확히 그거잖아. 기억하고 있네.
Would I just lie? Would I just lie to your face and tell you a thing I remembered happening
날 또
didn't
찔러
happen just so I
죽이려고.
could stab you again? I mean, just so I could stab you for the first time.
Aha! She slipped up there. She said again, and her taking it back doesn't count.
Do you hear how deranged you sound right now? Please stop.
폭력만이
This is only
유일한
going to end
해답이에요.
with violence. Postponing the inevitable is only going to make it worse for you when it actually happens.
칼을 버리면 여기서 나가게 해줄게.
A knife? What are you talking about? I don't have a knife. Where would I keep a knife? And why would I stab you to death? I don't know you. You haven't given me a reason to stab you to death. It would be so silly of me to cut you open and look at your insides.
Okay, I could have sworn we didn't mention stabbing anyone to death. Sounds like she's really out for blood. Fortunately for you, she isn't armed.
그럼 증명해봐.
It would be so much easier to prove that I do have a sharp object. I could just show it to you. But I don't have one, so I can't.
The princess smiles as she pulls her hands from behind her back.
But look at this! Hands! Hands that don't have anything in them to
아,
stab
쇠사슬에
with.
묶여는 있구나.
Her smile stretches into an even wider grin as she shakes her sleeves.
And empty sleeves, too. Look at how few stabbing implements I have. It's practically zero.
다른 비밀스러운 곳에 숨기고 있을지도 모르잖아.
I've shown you all of my hiding spots. What kind of princess do you think I am? I would never hide something sharp somewhere secret. Wait, that sounds like I'm lying, but I'm actually
예림이,
not. My
불화
secret
까봐.
things are for me.
그거 칼날
only.
불화
They
아니야?
have nothing to do with you or my intention to not stab you to death the second you get close to me.
Her smile drops for a moment, her expression sharp and flat.
I assure you, there's nothing hidden there.
I'm inclined to believe her on that one. She seems serious.
Of course, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have something hidden somewhere. We know for a fact she's armed.
우린 지난번에 서로 죽였어. 되풀이하고 싶진 않아.
But if we killed each other, then why are we here, right now? Both of us normal and
저 표정 좀
unstabbed.
귀엽네. 솔직하게 털어놓자.
That doesn't sound like me.
I have absolutely zero doubts that she is going to stab us if we get close to her.
She certainly feels threatening. Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has the means to actually do it. But you know who is armed? You. So stop second-guessing yourself and do your job. But I'm nervous. All the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste any more time getting stuck in your head.
지나간 일로 두자.
But I'm not mad at you, so please stop standing so far out of reach.
아, 다가가면 죽일 것
How many
같은데.
more times does she have to vaguely threaten you before you finally decide you're ready to deal with her?
아,
We're
죽여야 되나?
clearly
지금
still
죽인
figuring out
선택지에
our
후속타니까
angle.
죽여야
We don't
되나?
have the luxury of watching this from a distance.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think I'm in a position of luxury right now? You're acting like you are.
My entire world is at risk. Then maybe you should behave with a little more humility. A bit of self-deprecation would go a long way.
No. I have my dignity.
Fine, and we'll continue to treat you exactly how you deserve to be treated.
간다.
Of course I won't.
Against your better judgment, you walk across the room to within arm's reach of the princess.
I don't like the way you said within arm's reach.
You hear the horrible
아이고!
sound of metal slicing through meat.
Whose meat? Not ours, right?
Hers, at first, then yours. Your neck, specifically.
Hehe.
You collapse to the ground, your vision swimming as you attempt to focus on her bloody blade and the limp sack of flesh.
어,
that was
뭐야,
once her arm.
팔이.
You're going to die now.
And with a quick jerk of her elbow, she does just that. Everything
칼로
goes
변했네?
dark, and you die.
아, 이젠 챕터 3까지 갔어.
You're on a path in the woods.
No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin.
You're what? The interior of the cabin is sharp, a constricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened? What did you just do?
오두막이었던
I
것.
feel dizzy.
Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the cards now?
The circle's getting smaller and smaller.
Running isn't an
사냥감?
option anymore. We have to fight.
What's the point of fighting?
절망.
She's just going to win every time. It hurts being sliced to pieces. We're better off just sitting up here and doing nothing.
Great, so obviously you've already been here. How many times? This is our third? No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realize that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction, right? That can't be right. That's too much responsibility.
I couldn't agree more.
아,
We couldn't be
평행
trusted with the
세계들이
fate of a
하나씩
single
멸망을
person,
하는
let alone the fate of the world.
거고
Let's just stay focused, shall we?
공주가 전부 다 합쳐지면 진실된 세계가 만들어지는
Pristine
그런
blade
건가?
perched. We take it. Okay, sure. You take the blade.
뭐야,
before
그냥
anyone
알아서
finished
챙기네?
telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
This feels right. We just have to keep our senses sharp.
That's right. We've got to be able to win eventually.
And what if we never do?
So, are you just going to stand there, or are you going to head to the basement like you're supposed to?
뭐 지하실에 있긴
I'd
있고
love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there? You walk through the door. You do know what doors are, right? But there isn't a door, it's just that mirror again. There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore.
I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right.
감각으로 느끼는
Our
거랑
senses can't feel
그게
it, then we
다르다?
can't trust it.
다가간다.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Just reach forward and
이게
open it.
약간 진짜
Let's
본래
just move
세계랑
away without looking. I don't want
근접해
to see it.
간다는
I'm sure
느낌으로
we'll
이런
look
연출을 하는
awful
것
after
같은
dying twice.
느낌인데?
Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess.
거울을 닦는다.
You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open. And the mirror's gone. How surprising.
It was never there. Just an illusion.
Guess it's time for us to see her again. Just stay focused and you'll be fine. You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom.
Your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view,
또 왔어.
standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore. But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
Fun for her, maybe. I didn't like dying all over again.
Thinking about dying makes us as good
아,
as
지금
dead.
아까
The
2회차까지
only
온
thing
다음에
that
거기서
matters is
선택지에 따라서
survival.
또다시
Actually,
나랑
as
절망이랑
survival
나뉘었나?
matter, we've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way to win once.
Nothing bad has come of it yet.
Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered.
The past isn't real. There's only here and now.
Your internal
아이고.
bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her
족쇄도
arms
그냥
flopping
잘랐네?
at her elbows like torn sleeves. The chain clatters to the floor. She's loose, and she is coming for you.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Shit. She's coming for us and I'm out of ideas.
공주가 우린 이겨야 공주가 이기는 거지. 그럼 우리가 먼저 우리를 죽이는 거야. 패닉한다.
Panic where? Up the slide that dropped us down here?
There's no way out?
I'm coming to get you.
There's no way out.
It's hard to panic when we already know what's going to happen to us.
No, screw it. We're panicking. You panic, but unsurprisingly, panicking doesn't save you from her blades. She skewers you. Ow. Sorry about that. I gave into a bit of a fear response there, and I don't think it was very helpful. Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die? You're on a... No, you're in a... Where the hell are you? We're dead, aren't we? We're dead. How long have we been dead? Have we been dead the whole time? Dead. Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead. This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
This is 4.
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to
원래는
go past
두 번도
one.
안 된다?
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances. Okay, whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her.
As long as we keep moving.
It's going to get so loud in here. How are we going to keep it all straight?
Oh, great. So it's going to get even more crowded. Even more deluded voices that think we might stand any kind of chance.
Come on, show me something new.
야, 우리가 먼저 우리를 죽이는 거야. 효과는 없다. 당신의 기억은 흐려지고 당장 일어난 싸움의 일부분만 유지한다.
Then you skewer yourself.
I thought we both understood that dying doesn't get you anywhere.
Huh, that didn't do much of anything. We're tougher than I thought.
반항심.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps. We just have to hit her hard.
싸움꾼.
She skewers you.
You'll have to be trickier than that.
Compliment her on those gleaming
훌린자도 나타났다.
There's nothing better than a capable woman. She skewers you.
You're cute.
Do you see that? We almost had her. That was luck. But we only have to get lucky once.
She's going to kill this body either way.
맹혈.
So stop feeling what it feels.
맹혈은 못 보내지.
She skewers you.
Ooh,
야, 공주
not bad.
저거 조금만 더
Real
진화하면 날개형 되겠다 저거.
Doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't give up. Okay, let's go again. Let's appeal to her better nature.
기회주의자.
We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason. She skewers you. See? We're getting better. Okay, yeah. That was a good one.
근데 공주 이빨도 점점
None
진화하고
of this
있는데?
is working. Think. She skewers you. We're getting close to something. Can't you feel it? One last time. You're right. One last time. That's all we need. And then everything goes dark, and you die.
크라 물결표 방금 와서 딱 1분 봤는데 지은 흥미진진해 보이네요. 모임 디귿디귿.
저도 잘 모르겠습니다. 스토리가 너무 난해해요.
Don't lose your head. We're in a cabin, and we'll take it from here.
Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good.
사냥감
Our
아직도
steel
있었어.
claw is already in our hand.
Ho-ho! What if we throw it out the window? Over my dead body.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. I
절망,
can't say I'm
싸움꾼,
Besides,
홀린자,
what better way to
기회주의자,
die so
편집증,
very many times
배신감,
than at the sharp
맹혈,
hands of a beautiful woman? Sure, I can think of a better way to
의심.
die.
They're all the same, really.
How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything. The only thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top. There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is...
How about you stick to
죽을
describing?
때마다 하나씩 늘어가는 것도
Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll
모르겠어.
notch up
스토리
that
도저히
win
모르겠다
in
지금.
time.
Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover.
Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only...
It's more of a slide. We know. Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along.
Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs? Or this room, or anything? It feels like I'm hardly a part of this.
이제 해설자가
Just want to win.
아무것도 모르게 됐어.
Fine. You make your way to the basement.
야, 이젠
where
족쇄도
the
없네.
princess awaits you.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it? I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you. It's worth it though. Just you wait. And not for very long, because I'm going to do
막
it
칼
right
그
now.
자체로 변신한다는가?
Do.
해설자인지 말할 거 없음. 아니야, 삐졌나?
Are you going to say what she does? Oh, do you want me to talk now?
아, 삐진 거였구나.
Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing. Really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. And then it erupts.
거의 칼 그 자체가 되는 게 맞.
She becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of
아, 너
blades.
심장.
A heart beats furiously in its cage of
그걸
the chest.
죽여야 되나?
Are you ready for what comes next?
Holy shit!
She's gorgeous.
Absolutely
홀린자는 도대체 뭐에
divine.
홀리는 거야 저거?
Yes, behold, the perfect woman. Do you think we can throw her out the window? That looked painful. How is she still alive? Heart's still beating, that's all she needs. This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up. She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it?
This is all just a sick joke. I hate
아,
existing.
죽여서 벗어나야 되나?
Screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it.
This is all just a sick
정신을 비운다. 너무 많어.
What just happened?
어? 뭐야?
It's so quiet.
그도 비운다.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
그녀가 공격을 휘두르는 순간 당신 이미 다른 곳에 있다?
You're incredible.
뭐지? 갑자기 뭔데? 아이고 내가 찔렀어. 이것은 해피엔딩이다. 과연? 일단 또다시 진행은 됐어요. 당신은 수척해졌다? 아까 전에는 성장했다였는데 이번엔 수척해졌네? 뭐야?
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
우리들은 매번 서로를 다치게 해.
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
증오하냐고? 네가 날 몇 번이나 썰어버렸는데. 모든 게 끝나기를 원할 뿐이야.
It will, in time. But you still have a ways to go before we are done. Know that I hold no malice for you.
집합체를 공격한다! 아무 일도 일어나지 않는다.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
지금의 저희는 서로를 해할 수 없어요. 지금. 그 세계는 어떻게 되는 거야?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen.
말 뭐라고
The
하는
angles
거야?
of vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
얼마나 더 가져와야
We will
되지?
know when we near our destination.
스스로의 몸을 파괴한다. 아, 그것도 안 돼. 죽는 것도 안 되고, 죽이는 것도 안 되고.
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
돌아갈 준비가 됐어.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
안 해본 게 뭐가 있나? 죽이고 나서 확인 안 하고 나가는 거?
You're on a path
오늘
in the
늦어서
woods.
이 게임 스토리
And at
이해
the end of
못하면
that path
어쩌지
is
했는데
a-
모두 이해 못하는 듯 하네요. 휴 다행.
그러니까 이해를 할 수가 없는.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
홀린자로 탈출?
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
선택한 옵션을 가려. 약간 전체 건너뛰기가 되나 아예?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do.
그냥 지하실에 들어가. 내려가. 자동 건너뛰기구나. 자, 공주를 구한다. 다가간다. 경고한다. 저항한다. 오두막에 간다. 오케이, 여기가 이제 좀 변한 부분인가 본데? 다시 거울에 다가간다. 동일하고. 지하실에 들어간다. 잠깐, 이거 안 봤던 것도 뛰어넘어지는데? 다 넘기는데 그냥? 그대에게는 끔찍할지 모르나 우리에게는 공주님을 감동시킬 또 하나의 기회가 생긴 셈이로군. 뭐 이렇게 중요한 내용은 아니긴 했네요. 지난번에 날 주였지 엄청나게 아팠다고.
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
아니 임마?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us.
She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone.
She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
실패한 세계의 나 자신. 칼 안 가져와도 또 잘라줘야 돼?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a
안
monster
죽여.
who's not to
이번엔
be
탈출
trusted.
루트야 임마.
So go ahead and slay her.
공주를 구한다. 아니 내가 죽고 나서 무슨 일
You
있었지?
died, and now we're talking.
아니 무슨 일 있었냐고. 자, 구한다.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll...
You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
I would if you had a weapon.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life with
홀린자는
a
진짜
second
미친놈이네.
thought.
You wouldn't.
I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her?
You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her
뭐야?
bands. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon,
진짜.
one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon.
Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
뭘 하고
Let me
싶은데?
guess. End the world?
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
네가 원하는 걸 알려주길 원해.
I just want to make you happy.
날 행복하게 해주고 싶다고?
She can't just want to make us happy.
It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
날 불행하게 해주길 원해. 방금 만난 나한테 모든 행복을 맡기면 안 돼.
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
Is she
이상한데?
broken? What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar.
아까 전까지만 해도 눈이 좀 과장된 건 줄 알았는데 뭐지 뭔가 좀 이상한데? 불행하게 해주길 원해? 하면?
Okay, If that's what makes you happy, I can make you unhappy.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
뭐가 널 행복하게
I
하는데?
just want to make you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
뭐야? 뭔데? 뭐냐고?
No. She was our perfect match. She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
우리 당한다.
This doesn't feel right. It feels... Yes. I fear that we won't like...
이번엔 또 뭐야? 더욱 수척해져 해체됐다고?
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I'm curious to see.
이거 아무리 봐도 그 뭔가 닥소에서의 그거 같단 말이지? 네가 깨어나면 무슨 일이 일어나지?
If I did, I would already be awake.
아, 해설자.
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
그를 찾으면 진실을 알게 되겠지.
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves. This one is soft and delicate.
당신의 손으로 당신을 사랑하도록 빚어진 그릇이.
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
바깥 세상엔 사람들이 있을까?
It doesn't matter if there are. People
약간
are too
플루토
small for
생각나기도
us.
한다.
You and I are the only things that interest me.
60억 시뮬레이션 그것 때문에 인격을 마구 섞어서 깨어나게 만들려면 뭘 해야 되는가? 넌 우리가 실제로 존재한다고 생각해?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
돌아갈 준비가
The
됐어.
next time I see you, each of us will
다음에
find
만날 때?
what we are,
아, 지금 안 데려간 애가 누구 있지?
waiting for you.
안 데려간 루트.
You're on a path in
돌아서 떠난다. 그냥 처음부터 떠나게 되면 어떻게 되지?
Seriously? You're just going to... Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like you're really keen on wasting it.
똑같나?
Your silence is deafening. But fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you came.
아, 또 안 된다고? 처음부터는 무조건 아니야. 다시 다른
There's
방향으로.
always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods,
이상한
something
일이 생기기
strange starts to
시작합니다.
happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes, glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves.
노래가 좀 많이
As you
이상해졌다.
focus on
뭐야?
your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just
아, 저게 다 다른 세계인가봐.
In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Wait, what's going on?
But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness, but it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
뭐야? 이 상태에서도 진행이 되네?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the
이게
end
마지막
of
루트
the
아닐까?
world.
숲속에 머무른다 영원히.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
이쪽으로는 더 이상 갈 수가 없다고? 아, 똑같은 거라서 못하나 보다. 오토바이 간다.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar.
Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it.
Let's keep an open mind.
이래서 반항심이구나.
The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense. The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that
공주를 죽여서
is a
공주를
pristine
가둬서
blade.
공주를
The blade is your
탈출시켜서
implement.
내가
You'll
묶여서
need it if you want to do this right.
반항심.
If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust. Or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway?
No, we're taking the knife.
이번에는 검을 가져가야 되나?
Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess.
공주 죽이고 나서 바깥으로 나간 다음에 가만히 기다리는 걸 안 해보긴 했다.
You can't just say that. But when everything here is so
나간 다음에 그 상황에서 그냥
My job is to describe facts as facts.
뭔가 다른 행동 취하는 거.
Through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her.
Oh, you've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves?
Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm. How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you
뭔가
don't mind.
끝이 보이는 것 같은데 아직도
take a
게임을
deep
이해할
breath.
수가
I'm
없다.
all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird.
What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, We're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
단검 가져가.
You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Okay, fine, you took the knife. But you really shouldn't hold it like that.
그거 그렇게
How are you
잡는 거
supposed to
아닌데.
hold it? The other way, thumb at the bottom. Will look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom. It really doesn't matter how you hold the blade, as long as you have it. Just make a choice.
역수로 잡는다.
You switch your grip on the blade. Congratulations. Yes! Isn't this so much better? Okay, fine. You're right. This does look a lot better. It really doesn't matter. Just get on with it and deal with the princess already.
창밖에 던진다? 창밖에 던진다.
Ah, yes, do it.
Seriously. You throw the blade at the window, glass showering the cabin as your
못 본
weapon
선택지니까.
flies out into the night. I suppose you'll just have to deal with the princess without it. We'll be fine, don't worry about it. What's the worst that could happen?
그래,
The
이쪽도
world
깨졌네.
ends. Oh well. If the princess wasn't going to
여기도
do it, then
깨지고
the death
여기도
of the
깨지고.
universe was going to come for it eventually. I'm not so sure. This place is already messing with my head. It would be much better if we had a weapon. What's done is done. Good luck, hero.
들어간다.
The door to the basement
Oh.
creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing.
이게 반항심의
If the
말로인가?
princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die. We don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make,
반항심의 목소리 맞아? 아, 나한테 반항하는 건가?
we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
돌아가는 선택지는 아예 없네. 중앙.
You step onto the center staircase. Paths wind out around you in all directions, each step branching into its own staircases, which branch into their own staircases, and so on. You aren't quite sure if yours is taking you up or down, but at the very least, it's taking you somewhere. You concentrate on where you are, careful not to stray onto any of the many splitting branches that tempt you on all sides. You wouldn't want to have to backtrack to yours once you'd made a decision that took you someplace else. And so you take one careful, focused step after another. One foot down, another foot down, another after that. You lose yourself in following the correct pattern, in following what looks to be the true path, the one that cuts straight down, or up, or maybe sideways. But no matter the direction it goes, it certainly is the most true path. You know that much.
방향이 어떻게 됐든 맞는 길일 거라고. 뭐야?
You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to
점점
untether.
그 스케치 형태로
Physical
돌아가고 있네.
sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten. Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Can I help you?
What the hell was
뭐야,
that?
이게?
What
뭔데?
happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but
계단 위에
also
있던 나와
still
완전히 다른
the
사람이 된
same
것
person I was
같으면서
at the
같은
top of the
사람인 것 같아?
stairs.
Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways.
The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass, we remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems... normal.
내게 무슨 일이 있었던 건지 알아?
I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you? We're probably stuck down here
What?
forever,
Yeah.
aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in.
As the princess speaks again,
내가 한 번 안 오면서
it's
세
almost as if
개가 아예
she fractures.
섞여서 이렇게 된
Where
건가
there was
본데.
once just one of her, there is now another. We can do that? I don't like
우리도
this.
저거 할 수 있어.
It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? Again? Have you been here before? Should we tell him?
Nah, let him stew.
Right, I'm telling him. Yeah, we've been here before, but we never went to the cabin. We just turned around and left until... It's hard to describe. Until the only thing we could see was the same cabin going on forever. And then you told us that the world ended and we died. And then we woke up, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with all the rest of it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time,
처음부터 이거
unsee
했으면
it.
진짜
Whatever
혼란스럽긴
thoughts
했겠다.
weaseled their way into your head,
죽이거나
unthink them.
살리려다
It's not
죽거나
already too late.
둘 중 하나는
You have a
모르겠지만
job to do here,
처음부터
and you
이걸
need to do
봤으면은
it now.
Ooh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
창밖에 뭐야 이게 세 개가 같이야. 풀어주겠어와 동시에 창밖에 단걸 던진 걸 후회하면서 그와 동시에 지하실을 놔둔다?
Wait, that's not right. Go on. Take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use
날
it to strike
죽이려고
at her bindings as you
달려드는데
remain
내가
upstairs and slay
구해주는데
her and leave her to languish.
버리고 도망가는 애.
Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... we can't... Do you not have anything witty to say?
하나로 합쳐지나?
I could use a good bit of wit right now.
No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating.
Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all falls apart. I think he's gone. We were never going to
아니
salvage
이거
this,
처음에
were we?
선택이 안 됐나?
What happened?
이것도 그 보고 나서 생기는 건가?
They just don't fit. They just don't fit. We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually
이걸
think
어떻게
our actions
돌려주는데?
had consequences. It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
최선을 다해볼게.
She's gone.
다 간다. 바람 온다. 아까 해체했었지. 이번에는 아무것도 아니다. 뭐 까마귀 같은 게 있는데?
I think you know what I am.
어? 해설자가 이 공간에 왔네? 네가 해설자로군.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade.
얼마나 많은 세계를 멸망시킨 건가요? 너는 지금껏 먹은 빵의 개수를 기억하나? 네 조각이 부서질 때마다 아프지 않아?
It doesn't hurt. I don't feel pain. Not physically.
내가 뭔가 질문할 때마다 네 조각이
I'm
부서져.
aware. And if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time.
난 널 여러 번 만났는데 그게 전부 너였던 거야?
I haven't, and that's by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
루프에 대해서 알고 있었군. 왜 거짓말을 했지?
Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me, I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
아, 구성체 바깥에 있는 사람들은 이것에 대해서 알고 있어?
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end.
내 진짜 정체는
You're
뭐야?
the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
내가 정막이라고? 역시 난 특별했어.
Yes, you are special, unique even, and you still have a task that you need to do, and only you can do it. Soon I'll be gone entirely, and you'll be left alone with your final choice. So allow me to make my final request. The princess contains death itself within her, but I wove you into being with all the power you need to destroy her forever. Do it. Slay her, and rid the world of death and suffering.
공주는 뭐지?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it.
타자의
Her
관점에
nature is
따라서
why I had to
변화한다.
die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be.
내가 착하게
But an echo
대해주면
can't
그녀도
perceive
착하게
things, not in the
변하는
way that
거고,
people can. So
칼을
I tucked
들고
a part
가면
of
칼
myself
같은
into the
존재로
folds of
변하는
this
거고.
construct to guide you. Seems that every me you met did a real shit job of it, though.
사람을 들고 가면 칼 같은 존재로 변하는 거고.
칼을 들고 가면 칼 같은 존재로 변하는 거고. Seems that every me you met did a real shit job of it, though.
마지막 질문인가? 그녀의 생각을 알아야겠어.
I've said my piece, and my time is up. I'm just an echo, and every echo fades away. You know what you have to do.
새로운 깨달음을 얻는다. 이 모든 것이 당신이다. 오두막으로 간다. 마지막으로 한 번 더. 아이고 뭐야 이거.
I can finally
나 이거 간츠에서 봤어. 간츠.
You can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
나는 정막인데 무슨 의미인지 모르겠어.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
무슨 일이 일어나지?
Ever the passive player, always reacting, never acting. But
TV
it's
보면서
woven
밥
into
먹는
your
건
nature, isn't
우리도
it?
할 수 있잖아요.
When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
다른 방법이 있을 거야.
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
아이고.
There is no beginning to them, nor is there an end. There is only the flood of bodies. And every moment you hold every possible sensation at once, and then you hold them all again. And in the end, you return to me for a brief moment.
내가 만든 괴물이 왔다.
A chaos that needed ordering. But without chaos, there is no reason.
네, 세이브를 한번 해요. 퀵 세이브. 내가 사과할게.
I saw with a single pair of eyes what I needed dozens to comprehend. And now here we are, each with millions of eyes, and all of them opening to what we are. Your nightmare drags a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? Love melted into skepticism, and you pulled back layer after layer after layer, until all you were left with was the knowledge that you did not know me. You sought the truth then. Will you hide from it, now that it is within your grasp?
여기서 다시 한번 세이브를 하고 싸움을 일찍 끝내야 항복한다.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
해방시킨다. 고대 생명체. 그녀를 제외한 이곳의 모든 것이 당신이다. 우주적인 규모의 날개를 느낀다.
I love you.
손을 잡는다.
It's magnificent.
무한을 향해 발을 내딛는다. 이제 죽이는 엔딩 봅시다. 죽이는 엔딩. 자, 퀵로드.
You're on a path in the woods.
침묵을 진실로부터 숨고 싶지 않아.
Then don't. Leave with me. There's no need for you to fight what we are.
나의 관점에서 바라보기 전까지는
If you need more time to open your eyes, then I will give you all the time in the world.
A boundless torrent of blades cuts you for boundless ends. On it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead.
얘가 또다시 나왔네.
Dead, then alive and dead and alive and dead all at once. You learned to put yourself away and to follow the flow of reality, and you used it to rise above me. You died countless steely deaths.
오른쪽 아래 공주보다 이 공주가 더 위험하지 않아요?
And yet it is all so far behind you. Unjust impossibilities pushed you to become something you would never have been without them.
마침내 이겨서 기분이 좋았어.
And it was a joy for me to finally face my end. Even when I thought I had reached an unconquerable peak, you showed me how much further I could still climb. To question everything is to deny the proof of reality that lies in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your
당신이
suffering
고통을
real.
믿으면
In
고통이 현실이
believing in your
되지.
limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. But even then, you remembered the impermanence of the material and watched as the walls of your prison decayed into nothing. To be impermanent is not to end, but to change. And for the world to be impermanent is to make finite the suffering of all things. Would you strip that gift away and leave them all to suffer in their permanence?
그건 고문이야.
It would. Our purpose is to be and to experience, and their purpose is the same. To be permanent is to cease. To be paused is to be trapped. intends to protect us from loss. To fear death protects from losing a body. To fear ruin protects from losing status. To fear rejection protects from being known. But losing a body is contained within having a body.
대충 영원한 세계를 만들려고 했는데 그걸 위해서는 내가 눈치를 못 채고 공주가 죽어야만 가능했기 때문에 해설자가
But when the ceaseless impermanence of all things strips away the finality of endings, what remains of fear? Is it a shelter protecting you from itself? Or is it a shelter protecting itself from you? You took fear by the hand and walked with it into the unknown, and through that, you feared nothing.
난 더 이상 두렵지 않지만 다른 이들의 두려움은 진짜야.
Others cling to fear because they have not yet seen beyond it. Will you strip the beauty of transformation just because some refuse to acknowledge it?
당신의 의지가 빠르게 사라지고 있다?
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
아, 여기에도 그게 있네. 자, 퀵세이브 하고 풀어주지 않는다. 아, 일단 죽인다.
Even now you think you can destroy me. If it takes all of eternity to break your delusion, I will still break it.
You don't have to face her alone.
어? 너는 어떤 영웅의 목소리가 나한테 얘기를 하네? 다른 모두들은 어디 갔어?
They're still where you left them, stuck in the folds of this place.
아, 영웅. 아, 맞아. 이 공간에서 애초에 영웅이라는 소리도 없었지?
There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
준비됐어. 혼자 하는 게 있고 아닌 게 있네? 뭐야 이거? 아, 이번엔 점점 늘어나는 구조야?
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe
야,
things?
여긴 조망권이 좋네. 해설자는 정말 사라진 거야?
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated.
단검을 가져간다.
That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not.
들어간다.
The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
We both know why you're here. You don't have to draw it out for my sake.
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us. And down we
내려가면.
go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. That sight brings me back. You're going to do it then, aren't you? You're really going to kill me. You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
앞에 앉는다. 바깥의 저것과 같은 존재요?
No. I feel like I'm myself again.
널 죽여야 되는 현실이 싫지만 선택권이 별로 없어.
Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So, make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that?
다시 루프하기?
Are you sure that's what you want?
우리가 이데아를 이미 한 적이 없다고 어떻게 믿어?
I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know. But odds are we've probably done it before.
더 나빠지면?
Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty and I still like you. And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me too.
한번 해봅시다. 공주의 계획에 동의한다.
Okay, if this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand, a fondness in her gaze.
사랑해.
Oh, I love you too.
근데 트로피가 안
You're
뜬
on
걸
a
보면은
path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
지금 건너뛰기도
You're here to
없는 거
slay her.
보니까 오두막에 가는 순간 끝났네.
You're on a path in the woods.
다시 한번 죽인다.
Even now you think you can.
You know, you'll never be this. She. You can't, and lucky for you.
무조건 강제네 이거.
That's probably the stairs.
계단
And down
내려가고
we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
공주를 죽여.
So this is it then.
So, that's how it is. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out. Despite our differences, I've always loved you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
당신은 자신의 일부 또한 파괴했다. 세계는 멸망하지 않았다. 계속된다.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back.
오두막을 떠난다.
Then we did what we set out to do. Come on, let's get going. We don't need to linger down here anymore.
그리고 오두막을 나선다.
It's quiet here.
죽음으로부터 해방된 세계다. 자신을 해방한다.
He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
심장을 열고 당신의 새로운 왕국을 목도한다.
It's finally over, isn't it? But all of us are still here.
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it takes to be a winner is grit and determination.
We really did win, didn't we? We're the house now. We get to make the rules. This is nice. No more hunting. No more running. Just us. And whatever's out there.
Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him?
The whispering, and the coercion, and the bickering. Everything horrible about being alive has stopped. I could get used to this.
That wasn't very hard at all. Speak for yourself.
Well, boys, how does it feel? We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are the pecking order now.
I hope this was all worth it, because I'm personally inconsolable. Lucky for us, you have forever to get over it.
Time mends a lot of things. You'll get better.
Hear, hear, to our vanquished foe.
It's good to be back. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever. No problem. We can do that, yeah?
Yeah, we can do that.
아니요, 가만히 있는 거 안 깨긴 했어요 지금.
You're on a path in the wood.
죽이지 않을 거면 풀어줄 수도 없어.
There is no something else. This, what we are, is everything.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
아, 여기서부터는 똑같네.
She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, there's still a piece of me.
It's time.
She's
죽이든 다시 시작하든 아니면 해방돼서 탈출하든 끝이네요.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. And here we are. No blade it is. The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? It sounded just...
Maybe there's still room for us to chat before the final curtain call. What do you say?
앞에 앉는다.
Do you know where this cabin is? Because I don't. I don't even know what's supposed to be outside other than us. What would even happen if we leave? What would that even mean?
공주의 손을 잡는다.
Okay then. Let's leave.
이건 또 밖에 있는 존재랑 같이 나가는 거랑 또 다른 건가?
Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you.
혼자 남아도 괜찮겠어?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'll be alone for too long anyways. The others are still around here somewhere. I'll find them.
This is it. I have no idea what it's gonna be like out there. Not that I'm scared or anything. It's exciting, really. Anything could happen. And if it's bad, then it won't be bad. Not with you.
사랑해.
I love you too. But I'm trying not to be sappy about it. Don't make me get all emotional.
이게 이제 진엔딩이나 뭐 그런 건가 보다. 이렇게 해서 다 본 것 같아요. 없죠? 도전관이 겁나 많네. 확인해 보려고 해도 모르겠다 이거. 뭐 이쪽 거는 아예 못 땄네. 뭐 어쨌든 됐고요. 이거 꺼무이키 보면 뭐 스토리 설명 같은 거라든가 있을까? 아, 왜 이렇게 없어요?
철권 8 잘 나왔네요. 90점이라니 디귿.
드디어 나오는구만. 모르겠어. 난 너무 모르겠어. 그냥 스토리 이해를 못한 것 같아요. 그냥 뭔가 대충 느껴지는 건 있는데 그게 끝인 것 같아. 아, 이런 거 못 봤네. 아, 못 본 장면이 좀 많네. 이것도 못 본 것 같은데? 얘 주먹으로 때려 죽인 거야 지금 이거? 못 본 게 생각보다 많네. 그래도 연출은 나쁘지 않긴 했어요. 연출은 나쁘지 않긴 했어. 모르겠어요. 지금 2점 아니면 3점인데 고민되네. 연출 잘한 거를 네, 제가 이해한 게 딱 그 정도 수준. 공주가 죽음과 변화를 의미해서 그 영원한 세계를 만들려고 그 짓거리를 반복하고 있었고, 주인공이랑 이제 공주가 힘을 합쳐 탈출하게 되면 죽음과 변화가 있는 세계가 된다. 대충 그런 정도인데 그게 뭔가 명쾌하게 딱 이거다 하는 느낌이 오는 건 또 아니라. 아니 근데 그 해석이 맞는지 아닌지도 정확히 잘 모르겠어서 내가 느낀 게 맞나? 아닌가? 약간 그런 느낌. 2점, 3점. 아, 고민되네. (3점이냐) (2점이냐) 무슨 공주가 제일 마음에 들었냐고요? 역시 하렘이죠. 조망권 제일 좋았던 공주. (2점) 주겠습니다. (2점) 3점 줄까 했는데 뭔가 미묘해.